Battlefield Hardline. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words. Get a piece of the action in Battlefield Hardline. A fresh new take on Battlefield that allows you to live out your cops and criminals fantasy, combining an emotionally driven single-player story. Sorry. Inspired by popular TV crime dramas and an all-out war multiplayer on the streets of Los Angeles and Miami, Hardline delivers the most complete FPS on the market. F*** off, does it? So, Battlefield Hardline has hit the streets, and it's a cops and robbers game, and it's fucking shit. I'm just going to cut to the chase. It's absolute fucking wank, and I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this, but I don't give a shit. I'm just telling you the way it is, because gaming is fucked. I'm telling you, gaming is fucked. We're in the hands of these corporate suits who don't know a fucking good game from their arsehole. They really, really don't. It's just incredible when I look at the Battlefield series. This is my first review of a Battlefield game, but I am a veteran at Battlefield. I mean, I must have played Battlefield 1942 for a few thousand hours. Easily. I played it for a few years. I mean, I made videos on them back in 2002. What an amazing game that was. Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Battlefield Hardline. You have a awful campaign that is so ridiculously stereotyped and unrealistic that it's just an interactive movie. It isn't even a fucking game. It's like so chocked full of cutscenes that it just becomes more of an annoyance. You might as well just not even play the game. Just get some popcorn and watch the fucking movie, because it's just a movie. The developers even pretty much admit it's a movie, because each mission is labelled Episode 1, Episode 2, and it's kind of presented like a TV show. Like this next week on, you know, and then it'll show you what's going to happen in the next episode. And they've probably done that to try and cover their asses, because there is so many quick time events in the games that it's not like playing a game. I mean, just to give you an example, chasing a bad guy along a corridor, he jumps out of the window, cutscene. He then is getting into a car, cutscene. You're playing the game at the time, and in between these cutscenes you run for like 10 feet, you jump out the window, cutscene. You go to get in your car, there's another cutscene, and the next thing you're just chasing him through the streets. You've got to chase him. You can never catch him because that's not in the script. You've just got to stay near him until you've done that for about 30 seconds, and then another cutscene takes over as your partner leans out of the window and shoots his tyres, causing him to crash. Then you have to get out of your car, cutscene. Obviously, you don't want you actually getting out of the car. Let's make that a cutscene as well. Then you walk over in control, get to the other car, then a cutscene as you drag him out the car to cuff him. And that's the way it goes all the way through, well, as far as I was able to put up with it before I got suicidal and had to stop playing the campaign. And it's a very short campaign anyway, but that's it. Then it goes 2 years into the future and you get a new partner who doesn't like you. She's like saying, I'm not your friend, I don't like you at all because you were a bad cop in a incident that happened a few years ago. Then 5 minutes into your first patrol with her, you open a gate for her to walk through, and she turns around and says, forget about what I said to you before, you're an alright guy.
I got it. Go on through.
Thank you kindly. Sorry about that clusterfuck comment, by the way. Sounds like it was a real mess. But you handled it.
Honestly, it's just, they've took every possible police story that you've ever seen in Starsky and fucking Hutch and all of the others, and they've just thrown them all into a pot. That'll do, that'll do, that'll do, that'll do. Yeah, that's good, yeah, we'll have that good cop, bad cop routine. We'll have a hot, she has to have a hot ass. Just fuck off. Ow. You have a gun and you're shooting the fuck out of people that don't have body armour on, by the way. They don't have body armour on, and they're like the fucking Terminator. They don't drop. Bulletproof sweatshirts, guys. And obviously I'm the Terminator. I got shot about 20 times in the whole of episode 1. Never died once. Oh, it's piss. It's piss, guys. So, multiplayer, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Battlefield multiplayer? Yeah, it is. I mean, that's all I used to play. In Battlefield 1942. So what's the multiplayer like? Well, you've got lots of different game modes. Apart from your usual capture and hold and team deathmatch, you have blood money, heist, you've got, well, never mind the names, I'll tell you what you have to do. There's a game mode where you have to steal money, which is actually for evidence, and the the criminals have to steal money because they're criminals. And so there's a pot of money in the middle of the map. You both converge on it, steal money, get in a getaway car and f*** off. Then we have a hostage rescue one where the criminals have captured a couple of hostages. You have to go and free them, and there's permanent death in that one. If you get shot and you die, you're out until the next round. You've got another one where you have to escort a VIP to an extraction point. There is no respawns in that. You get shot, you're f***ed. Obviously there's the heist one where the criminals have to blow up on a vault and escape with the cash, and the cops have to prevent it. So that's pretty much your game there. The maps are microscopic. You spawn and you are straight into the action within 4 or 5 seconds. Sometimes people are just spawning in the middle of the map. I mean, I've had criminals just spawning like right near me. I've had friendly units spawning pretty much on top of me. It's just a big fucking mess. It's just a big... You just run around and get shot off people you never even saw. People just camping in windows and doors, doorways and behind hedges. So I started doing it myself, just crouched behind a hedge with a sniper rifle and just waited. Then I was shooting people. It's awful. I didn't enjoy any of it. It was just absolutely fucking awful experience. A lot of you think, oh, I knew you were going to hate on this, Mac, because you just don't like any game. That's utter rubbish. That's utter rubbish. In 2002, when Battlefield 1942 hit, we never really had a proper warfare experience. We didn't know what it would be like as much as you can know through playing a computer game in a battle, in a war. And what Battlefield 1942 did, it give you a load of maps that were absolutely fucking huge. I mean, I'm talking massive. I mean, I'm talking you take every map, every single map in Battlefield Hardline, and you stick them together. It wouldn't, in my opinion, be anywhere near the size of one map from Battlefield 1942. And when you have maps like that, it allows a total different type of gameplay. You don't have this jumping around in a condensed map like you do in Battlefield 3. And I've never played Battlefield 4, so I don't know. But in Battlefield 3, it was just so condensed. In Hardline, it's so condensed. You spawn and you're straight into the action within seconds. There's people spawning all over the place. You don't know whether there's people in front of you, behind you. You don't know who's who or where they are. It's just a big fucking mess of people shooting each other. You stand up, you get shot. Where did it come from? I don't know. It could have come from fucking anywhere, because there's no organisation, there's no synergy going on with any kind of warfare or battle. It's just a big fucking mess of people running around, stabbing people in the fucking back and getting takedowns and all that, just so they can get top of a leaderboard to unlock dual fucking pew-pews. You know, it's awful. It's fucking awful. And Battlefield 3 was awful, because that's all that was as well. You see, let's go back to 1942, Battlefield 1942. When that game started, there was a big rush to the airfield. You could get Spitfires, you could get Hurricanes, you could get in a B-52 bomber, or was it a Lancaster bomber? I can't quite remember, it's a long time ago. And you would then take off and you would start flying towards the German base. It took you a few minutes to get there. That's how big the maps were. Other people got into tanks, other people got into jeeps with mounted machine guns, and passengers would get in, and you'd rush for the strategic areas of the map to capture, which were a long, long way apart. If you were to run, it would probably take you 15 minutes to run around the map. That's how big the map was. They were huge, guys. You could have a fight going on at the far side of the map and they'd call for reinforcements. It would take you a few minutes to get there. And when you did get there, you would find a proper fucking firefight. You'd have tanks hull down behind rocks, firing at tanks as you come across the desert. You might call in for air support. And we're talking about a lot of players playing in here, 64 players. I mean, this was a proper fucking war going on here. And other maps had aircraft carriers off the coast, and you'd get into landing crafts just to even invade the islands. I think it was Iwo Jima, I can't remember, but these were, you felt like you were in a war. It was incredibly atmospheric and great. It was an amazing, amazing experience. And Battlefield now has lost all of that. It's now just a glorified game of Quake with fucking machine guns, sniper rifles, pistols and hand grenades. That's all it is. people running around on fucking steroids, pew pew pew. It's bullshit. And do you know what? Call of Duty's the same. If you go back, Call of Duty came out, I think it was a year after Battlefield 1942, and they tried to make a war experience and succeeded. It was more scripted, but it was different. It had to be different, and it was amazing. And the first two Call of Duties were fabulous. And then we had Battlefield Vietnam came out after that, and that was another great game. I loved that in multiplayer. We had a couple of shite Battlefields, then we got Bad Company, which had a great campaign. It was really good fun, and that had really nice balanced multiplayer. I liked the multiplayer in that. And then that was the last great Battlefield game. All of the rest after that have just been these condensed maps of shit. And that's where we are now with Battlefield. And do you know what? I'm not a bit surprised Hardline is the way that it is. People will buy it, and it's pay to win. You know, you download, you pre-order the Deluxe, and you will get an accurate assault rifle that you can't even fucking get in the game. It's just... Can't you see what's going on? Why are people buying this? The servers were fucking full this morning when I went in. It's unbelievable. I don't understand how you can play Battlefield 3 and then pay another $60 for this, which is Battlefield 3 in police uniforms. And then you've got your Call of Duties, which is exactly the same as this in multiplayer. They're all the same. Why can't you see that it's the same fucking game? What is wrong with people today? It's just unfucking believable that people are running around. They're buying fucking bags that have camos in them and shit. And it's like, I've just unlocked a bag and it's got... See, Hardline doesn't bring anything new to the table. Payday is actually better than this. Payday 1 is better than this. This is just... I didn't once feel like a cop. I never felt like a cop once. I never felt like a criminal once. You know what I felt like? I felt like a prick with a gun, running around shooting a bunch of little fucking kids. That's what I felt like. That's how it felt. I didn't feel a bit immersed in a cops and robbers game. Get the pile of cash and escape with it. It might as well be in a pile of fucking carrots. Because I didn't feel one little bit like I was a robber stealing cash or a cop trying to stop them. It was so ridiculously shit that I never felt a single bit of immersion in this game. It's just the same old copy and pasted bullshit that you expect from the likes of Electronic Arts and Activision when they just shovel their fucking shite with all the DLCs, and they're all coming, all the DLCs are coming now, and all the fucking idiots are gonna go and buy it because they think that this is a good game. You know why they think it's a good game? Because Electronic Arts tell them it's a good game. Because other big review sites tell them it's a good game. So it's like, it's a good game. They've said it's a good game, so it's a good game. If you think this is a good game, I honestly feel sorry for you. I'm not trying to be funny here. I really feel sorry for you if you think this is a good game. If you think this is a value for money good game, then I'm sorry for you. I really am. But all you other people who played Battlefield 1942, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So there you go, Battlefield Hardline. It's the same old shovelware shit that we've been getting for the last 5 to 10 years. Definitely not worth a buy.